Hello and welcome to the Tuesday night stream for Brew Tapcast. I'm Tap here, hanging out on this fine Tuesday evening, hanging in the cellar. We're going to be talking some Everfest Day 2 spoilers. We have quite a lot to... Actually, it's not that many. There's not that many that we'll be going over. I think there's 7 because Outcast Haven is not yet released theirs for the day. They have their stream that actually is probably co-occurring at this point in time. And so no one's going to come here to watch because there's already another one to watch. So they'll be dropping their spoiler probably within this hour. Maybe I think they wait until late in the stream because generally they go late anyways. I think they're Central or Mountain or something like that. They're out in Central America. But that is the Central States, not Central America. That is the plan for this evening, is to go over the spoiler cards for Day 2. We actually have not yet released our Day 1 pints and previews, and that's what this is. This is a pints and preview, so I hope you have yourself a nice pint of delicious liquids to imbibe while we go over these wonderful Everfest spoilers. That's our plan for this evening. Go over these spoilers, talk about them. These are not live takes, but they are somewhat recently unwrapped, recently peeled takes. I've only gotten to read the cards, and that's about it. It's been heck of a week. But yeah, so these are somewhat, not super interpretive beyond that. But that's all. That's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna talk spoilers, and get jazzed about Everfest because I'm really looking forward to this set. There's some really nice cards. I'm today. Yeah, there was some really nice things going on there. All right, so I think we just jump right into it. There's no reason to beat around the bush. Let's just jump right into it. I'm gonna go on over to here. Alrighty, so here we are. I'm looking very mysterious in this nice frame here. For whatever reason, I have a mysterious background on my face today. Anyways, this is where we're gonna be. We're gonna be going over the first card. So the first one we have actually is this is from, oh my gosh, Team Covenant. This is Team Covenant spoiler. Sorry about that. Make that a little bit bigger for you. So this is Team Covenant. This is Helm of Sharp Eye. Gotta make sure I'm actually, yeah, this is definitely Team Covenant. Sorry about that. So Helm of Sharp Eye. So this is a warrior equipment head, defends for 1. It's got battle worn, so you can totally head and soak up a bit of damage. This is just going to hang out, and that is definitely one of the best pieces of 1 block, or best things you can have for 1 block. I think it's that, or blade break, whatever. Anyways. Attack reaction, pay 1, destroy Helm of Sharp Eye. So you gotta, that's we're normally, I guess this is Majestic equipment. We're not really looking at repeated effects because that's mostly what we see in the Legendary ones. So not really upset there based on it being Majestic. But destroy Helm of Sharp Eye, banish the top card of your deck. You may play it this combat chain. Activate this ability only if you control a weapon with power greater than twice its base. Okay, well... I mean, this is definitely... So, how often do you really buff the Dawnblade? Sorry, not Dustblade. How often do you buff Dustblade to 6? I guess that's pretty easy on your first attack, right? I mean, if you're going to be having some large buff there, like a warrior... I don't know a lot of those things by name. I know there's a couple that add 3 in different ways, reprise or not. That would get you there for that. So you can theoretically get something else off the top and play it on the chain. So it's not the link, which is good, because if it was the link, that'd be kind of crappy. Then it's like, cool, maybe I'll actually get something. Maybe I won't. It is banished, so you can't use it to pitch or anything like that. It's literally just going to be played. You have to pay for it still, because it doesn't say anything about not paying. So it's got to be something that's free. I know that we will see... I think we will see something else that definitely could... Or was that from yesterday? Did I have all the... I feel like there's another card that was spoiled that I didn't grab. But did Team Covenant have 2, maybe? Maybe I'm mixing things up, because I feel like there was supposed to be another thing. Because I thought we saw something else that was a rather nice warrior card. But it's not here. It's not here. No, that's it. There's definitely one more that was... Maybe it's one of the Outcast Haven ones that got spoiled unexpectedly or something like that. Let's just grab this over here. And make sure I'm not making things up, because I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Yeah, I don't know who. So we have In the Swing. I don't know where that came from. In the Swing. I guess I'll pull that image up over here real quick. Yeah, let's snag this one. I don't actually know what this is. So, whoop. This is one that probably would do pretty well. Mostly because it's oh, sorry about that. So again, don't know exactly who this is spoiled from. So I apologize if I'm not giving credit where it is due. But I don't have a link to it. So my guess is maybe this is one of the Outcast Haven spoilers. But it goes well with this here Helm of Sharp Eye, right? This is a free attack reaction, so this is going to be something that you likely will already have done if you're attacking with, say, a Dawnblade. Attacking twice with Dawnblade is I guess you attacked 2 or more. It is Team Covenant. All right, so they only said they had 1. That makes sense to me because it does yeah, the actual website doesn't say that it has a second spoiler card for them, so that was a little bit surprising. But it goes well with this thing, right? So, I mean, I'm thinking the main thing is going to be Raiden, right? If that deck, the Bolton Raiden, it's going to be attacking a lot. Like anything that's going to buff that power is going to easily double it. So you're going to be able to banish an extra card. This is a way to swing multiple times with your beacon and your beacon combo, all that kind of stuff. So this seems really nice in that kind of deck because this is essentially it's a free +3. So that looks really hot there. It's going to be rough to get this on the Dawnblade unless it's the second swing. So you already have your Dawnblade at 6. You have to have gotten go again and hit. And then you're going to throw another 3 on top, so it'll be 9 plus any other possible attack reaction. So I get it. I like it. It's cool. I think there's probably a cycle of these. I don't know if they released them or not. But the blue and yellow one probably aren't going to see a whole lot of going. Maybe the yellow ones. I don't play enough Warrior, particularly Bolton, to know if yellows are good enough for that deck. I think, Cody, you're actually a brute guy, so maybe you don't know as much about that. I have no idea. I think the red one's probably the only one that's really worth playing because +1. I guess actually, we'll see another card that talks about a single added damage in the reaction step that allows you to give it go again, which is a little bit silly. So maybe In the Swing, blue would be useful for that, but I digress. So I guess there's your 2 spoilers from Team Covenant. This one being a very neat reaction that could see a fair amount of play in. Again, I think Bolton's really where it lands. I guess you could try to do it with your girl Dory, but it'll definitely be a little bit more difficult to do that kind of thing. Are you having yourself a beverage? I hope you are. I'm having myself a beverage. These are your pints and previews right now. So, anyway, back to Helm of the Sharp Eye. I think that for the most of the warrior weapons you have, I guess the hatchets, same sort of thing. They're only 2 base power. It's not that hard to get them up above to 4. So you could even go there. The sabers are 2 as a base. So that's also something that's not too crazy to double. And then again, it says attacks with weapons on that In the Swing. So again, you attack with 1 saber and the other saber, and then there you go. So I do see a nice. It's probably easier with a dual weapon in that regard because it'll snap off at the top of that one. I mean, this one doesn't have to actually be the second attack. This is just doubled power, which is much easier in your second attack if it's a single weapon you're throwing around. But that is Helm of Sharp Eye. I feel like it should be Helm of the Sharp Eye. It just rolls off the tongue. Helm of Sharp Eye seems weird to me. But so we don't actually have a good warrior. Actually, I don't think we have a warrior head equipment. So now we have one particular. Of course, it can block well, but that's really not that surprising. We'll always see that the warrior equipment are always going to block well. And ain't no Valiant Dynamo with rechargeable blocking, but I feel like that doesn't see a whole lot of play anyways. Although I really like that card, and if you're looking for building out your warrior arsenal, it's like $60 right now, like for just a unlimited edition. So if you're looking to beef up your other classes, maybe before if this set we see things spike for warrior. Get in there right now. Get your legendaries. Get whatever you need to fill out your equipment with them because it is pretty cheap right now to be a warrior. All right, so that is Helm of Sharp Eye from Team Covenant. Let's jump on to our next one, which is going to be from, this was a football player, like, so it's what the local game store, and then Dalen Mack. So I think it's really cool that a literal, a football player, Stroke of Foresight. So sorry, we'll go back here. Stroke of Foresight to set up the play off the top of the deck. Absolutely. That is absolutely a thought. Like, again, that's the one you're able to look at the top card, and I think that seems great because if you're playing a saber, that is, I think the red one and the yellow one will give you +2 and +3, and so that'll easily double it. And there you go. So if you want to, so that's the nice thing about it, is it is an attack reaction step. So that, I couldn't remember the actual names of the thing, but no, you nailed it. That's probably the better one, because obviously you're not going to overpower to this, right? Because that's kind of like a, well, I don't know. Maybe someone wants to overpower. Maybe that's going to draw something out. But the Stroke of Foresight makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Valiant. Yes, it is absolutely against it. It sucks up Kodachi damage like nothing else. And all you got to do is attack twice and then boom. So yeah, no, it's cheap now. So again, I picked one up. I didn't have one. I picked one up. Definitely consider it if you're thinking about ever playing Warrior, or if you just want to have a set because it's important. All right, so Dalen Mack, this professional football player. I know that's funny because I know that if anyone has played MTG, and they've probably heard of the Command Zone if they're not like only into competitive stuff, and they also have Cassius Marsh, who also just started a local game store. I can't remember what it's called, Caches or whatever. It's something silly, but he's a huge Magic fan, and we have this other football player. It's really cool to see these people who, you definitely wouldn't out of the ordinary, like, or out of like, oh, what are football players plays? But why not? They're people too, They can be just as nerdy as you or I, in that regard. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So we have Skull Crushers. So this is a Brute equipment. This goes on the arms. So now you got something to go with your bark bone strapping and your scab skin leathers. And you got your skull horn. So you got, boom, full set of Brute shenanigans. What's up, Mr. Cardboard Flesh and Blood? We're talking some spoilers on day 2 of Everfest. These are somewhat live. We haven't looked at them too much. But yeah, Soul Crushers, again, Soul Crushers. That would be it had to be like a shadow equipment, right? Soul Crushers. It would be the Shadow Brute gloves. That would be really funny. So whenever you roll a 5 or a 6 on a die, your Brute attack gains +1 this turn. Brute attacks gain +1. Sorry. So that is all attacks, including weapon attacks, which is quite nice. Whenever you roll a 1 on a die, destroy Skull Crushers, battle worn of a 1 defense. So I guess the question is, does the Gambler's Gloves mean if you roll a 1, do the Gambler's Gloves actually save it? Not like you'd actually use it to save it necessarily, right? But if you're going to roll a 1, say you're rolling for Scab Skins and you're going to run, you really want to get rid of that, right? Does that... I don't feel that roll actually happens. I guess I don't know the actual language here. Let me double check on the language, unless someone remembers the exact language of Gambler's Gloves. Because I don't... Also, it's only like $15 right now. Not a bad pickup if you're looking to fill out your Brute stuff. So, if an effect would resolve that includes rolling a 6-sided die, instead you may destroy Gambler's Glove. If you do, the controller of the effect re-rolls a 6-sided die. You decide whether Gambler's Gloves after seeing the result of the die. Yeah, so that does look like it doesn't actually resolve. So that seems like it works in the way you want it to. Oh, that's right. Oh shit, it's the same freaking piece of armor. Oh, that's lame. That's ultra mega lame. All right, well, there goes that whole thing. If in a world you could wear 1 Brute Skull Crusher and 1 Gambler Glove, it could work. But no, that just seems sad. I guess you're trading your RNG in for, like, cool, I want a high roll and get a bunch of extra damage, or I want a low roll and just, like, eat shit down that hill. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Both arms are the rest of the previews. All right, good luck with your army event, Mr. Cody. Good luck indeed. So Andrew says, UPF PvE can make it interaction. Absolutely, because it does not have to be the person. You can make anyone reroll with the Gamblers Club. So even if someone did roll a 5 or a 6, if you were playing Gamblers Clubs and your opponent was playing the Skull Crushers, which I think we have Soul Crusher could wipe soul cards, throwing Prism and Bolton for a loop. Absolutely, Soul Crushers, the new Shadow Brute weapon coming to a store near you, or coming to a local army event near you. But no, this could definitely see some shenanigans in that regard. Is it worth it? So I guess that's the question. Like, how much for Brute? So Brute, theoretically, not a huge amount of on-hit effects, at least as of yet. I mean, I didn't pay attention to all of the spoilers today. Maybe there is. I feel like there was the Wild Ride. I can't remember if that was a Brute attack. Anyways, I don't think there was a great on-hit effect. They had something to do with discarding cards and things like that. Again, go again. This is the downfall of Brute, is it doesn't have a lot of on-hit effects. So if an extra point of damage on all of your attacks in a single turn doesn't really matter, because if you are going to hit, you're hitting for, let's say you go friggin' mega wide. You're playing claws or something like that. Let's say that's an extra 4 damage in a single turn if like all of the things are going to hit because of this. I mean, is that much? I don't know. I don't think so. Because of the lack of on-hit effects, like, is it worth it? Probably not. I think you'd rather have that turn where you just ate shit down that hill and rolled a 1 with a Scab Skins, and then have Gambler's Glove to sort of help that out. Yes, the 1 defense is useful. There's nothing wrong with that. I also want to say that this says 2021 on it. That's very interesting, because I thought it's getting released in 2022. I wonder if they just sort of missed that. I think they all say that, right? Yeah, they're all going to say that, aren't they? Yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of a goofy thing there. Maybe it was printed at that particular time. Anyway, I feel like this is not going to be seeing as much play as you would expect, purely based on how it works with Scab Skins and wanting Scab Skins to work more often than getting an extra damage once or twice a turn, or say 4 times, 5 times a game, maybe. And then you can just like eat shit and roll a 1 the first time, and then like great, you just have nothing left. I mean, yeah, maybe you want to throw this under a block early so you can get that Battle Worn in there, and maybe it gets an extra couple damage over the game. I don't love it. I don't hate it. But as a Brute player, I don't think I'd be super excited about this. I mean, none of his effects really matter all that much. It isn't going to, buff anything to that 6 power threshold where you'd want to discard, because it can't affect anything in your hand. So I'm not really loving it that much. It just seems stupid in KO. The amount of gambling would be insane. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like, that's absolutely true. Like, and this isn't gonna get doubled either. So like, and even if it did, +2, woohoo. But no, it's just the base that KO buffs, or doubles, I should say. So if you're attacking it for 6 and you roll a 6, great. You're gonna be attacking it for 13, but yeah, as you said, it's not worth the risk. It's just, there's too much gambling involved. I don't love it. Frankly, I dislike it, unless we see some thing that matters. Like this, just like it's majestically okay. We'll put it that way. Sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's whenever a dice is rolled. I totally get that. So cool, you can get +2, but like, I don't know. Is it still worth it? Like, cool. Let's say you can. So I don't. So you can go again with the claws, right? So you're gonna attack with the first claw. You get the second claw. Like, let's say we can go again off of first thing. So yeah, cool. We're gonna be rolling. I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel like it's gonna be doing enough. I mean, unless I'm not thinking of KO the same as I should be. Yeah, it's an attack action card, so his claws aren't going to trigger it. So it's got to be an actual card. So you'd have to do that prior. So like, you play out a couple cards, whatever, you get those. Let's say you high roll, you double them, add 2. then your claws are going to be hitting in for 2 extra, which actually isn't that bad. So like I guess it can go pretty. You can high roll pretty hard, but at the same time, like that's a lot of risk you're taking on. I mean, I remember playing. The only time I actually played against KO was in a commoner event, and like that deck just rolled over and died by its own hands. It just couldn't get an attack in that was more than like 3 or 4 damage because he just kept rolling bad. And like, yes, you're not always gonna do that, but like, I don't know, like you have to pay me pretty hard to sell me on the Skull Crushers here. Just saying. I do see that in a world where it can add a couple extra damage, but that's not a world I want to live in. I'd rather live in a world that can make our next spoiler from EDH Rec, Kraken's Aether Vein. This is something that I have trouble believing that they have not dealt or not made a card that targets things to do extra damage. Right now it's only cards, I believe. So this is looking really lame right now. It's right, cool. It's 3 to do 1, which is a very lame amount. Yeah, it's once per turn, so in an instant, so you can do it on either turn, right? Your turn, their turn, so you can make them pitch to stop that draw. But there's gotta be something coming in this set that is going to allow you to target a wizard card to increase damage. Otherwise, I just don't see it happen. But yeah, never gonna play it, but it's neat for those. Absolutely, yeah. It's like it's the dice you roll to roll your dice. that's definitely it. So yeah, Kraken's Aether Vein. As we see it right now, it's a pesky fly. Particularly, I guess it depends on when you use it. That's really what it comes down to. It's like if you're cracking off, like say you're playing Kano, and you're going in for some major damage, and people aren't respecting it, then you just get your major damage in, right? And then it doesn't matter. But if you're gonna zap in for a single point of damage here, are they gonna pitch to prevent it? I guess this is like way beyond my brain set because I don't play Kano enough to know. Like, I'm sure there's a way to weave this into where you're doing your arcane damage, that'll make it a little bit better. But I feel like we need to see a buff that will bring it above 1 damage to make this thing really click, and maybe that'll make it way too brutal. Because then, like let's say you can pump it to 3, and then like you got to have Arcane Barrier 3. That's a lot of cards. Because like you could theoretically, if this could get up high enough, you could just sort of chain your deck like crazy playing Kano. Like if you could. Not net. Like if this could deal 4 damage. Well, actually, shoot, you don't even need to do that. If it deals 3 damage, you're drawing a card for each dealt that way. So that can be heavily painful, right? Dealing with so you could theoretically go somewhat infinite on 3 damage in that, but I also could use the Cycler blue cards she doesn't currently want. That's definitely true, and you're going to be playing a lot of blue cards with Icelander. That's very true, because you want to be able to play things at instant speed, because that's kind of where she shines. And if it is a cycle, if they take it though, like that's the thing, is they have to take it. Like, sorry, and you can't go infinite, by the way. I said like you can't because you can only do it once per turn. But plus frostbite demand if it's a frost or if it's an ice card, it has to be an ice card for the frostbite. You could just do like random potions or whatever. That's not gonna do it for you. But even so, I like it. I think it's a fun card, and I think if we can even add 1 damage to it, that'll make a difference, right? Because I think people are going to be hesitant to do it, to pay for it. Well, no, they're gonna pay for it because they don't want you drawing 2 cards. They don't want you to draw 1 card. It's cycling cards, you said, but I don't know. I feel like it's got major potential. I think that's where I want to sit with it. I think it's highly dependent and I think it'll actually happen now that we'll see something in this particular set that's going to do it. Yeah, they will pay for it. I agree, but like it's just cycling. So is it really that bad? It's 1 damage unless there's something on top of it, like unless you're launching into your attack after that and like you're sculpting your hand, which I guess is actually that's not a bad thing. You are trying to sculpt your hand into something that makes a little bit more sense for a wizard, but it's a really bad return, right? It's 1 resource for 3. I guess it's also matchup dependent, right? So resource intensive decks that are like right at the right amount, like Bravo, I know sometimes is rather painful because you are always trying to be right where you need to with resources. Your seismic surge, your seismic surge tokens are extremely important. Your blues are extremely important. You get thrown off by one resource, that's going to totally F your day up. You're playing something like Brute, it's a little bit less intensive on resources in the sense of, well, actually, that's not necessarily true. They do fairly play a lot of yellows and things like that. So I guess that could screw them up too. I guess Ninja freaking always have resources, right? Maybe it messes with Ninja. I don't know. I just think that this card deserves something that's going to allow to add damage to it. Now, and I just want to mention the background. So Kraken's 8th event. So obviously the Kraken, the big, brutal squid octopus thing. When are you going to see it? Oh, actually, I think there is a picture. Do I have it right here? No, I don't have it right here. There's actually the map, the world map. Has a big Kraken in it. Let's see if I can find that, because that'll be funny. All right, here we go. Right, or maybe that wasn't a Kraken. Whoop, here we go. Can we see this? Yeah, we can see this. So if we zoom into this thing, so here's the little monstery thing, right? I guess that's not really a Kraken. It's just like a sea drake, right? I thought I remember there being a Kraken, but I guess your dinosaurs on there. No, I take that back. Just this weird pit of teeth, like the sandworm in the water, though. So don't really know. Never mind. I thought that might actually go with the map stuff, but it does not. Unfortunately, it does not. Outside of that, pretty fun card that I think we'll see some excitement in this set. I hope, at least, because it'll make it a little bit more powerful. At this point, it's just kind of an annoyance. All right, on to our our next spoiler. Excuse me. The bubbles, they get you. The bubbles, they get you. We're going to go on to a CFB preview. Pulverize. Now, here, this is what I'm talking about right here. Look at this. Look at this card. This is a Majestic, a 10 cost Majestic. We have it pitches for 1. It's a red one. Heave 3, 14 damage. Comes in for 3 defense. When Pulverize hits a hero, they're attacking, or the first attack their next turn is -4. So, Crippling Crush, what is it? Disable? No. Oh my god, what's the frickin' one where they smashing a guy's hand? Hold on, let me get after it. Not Disable. Not Cartilage Crush. Not Buckling Blow. Nope. Not Choke Slam. I got it in here. Hold on. Let me get after it. Not on the top set. Debilitate. There we go. So it's the Debilitate ×2. That is a gnarly card right there. Coming in for 14, like it's gonna hit, right? It's hard not to. So it definitely pulverizes your opponent's next turn. But it's got this extremely neat effect that says Heave 3. At the beginning of your end phase, if Pulverize is in your hand and you have an empty arsenal zone, you may pay 3, Pulverize face up into your arsenal. If you do, create 3 Seismic Surge tokens. So, wow. That's a big hit. Surprise LSS jump straight from the 11 to 14 on the biggest attack in the game. Yeah. That was a big jump. I agree. I mean, for 3 more damage, I think 3 more power. 3 more damage, 3 more cost. I think they don't. I don't know if they really add up there. I don't know. It's an amazing, and it's not a specialization either. And I think that this is a card that people are going to play. You're not going to be playing this. Likely not going to be playing this unheaved. The only thing is, people see it coming, right? You're going to heave this card into your arsenal. You're going to get 3 Seismic Surge tokens, and then people know it's coming. So, you're going to have to be ready to take some damage, or have, a really good set, like some E-Potions, or, all blues, and you're not going to... It's going to be telegraphed to the maximum. But at the same time, this thing is hitting for a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. It's more than a 30, or it's just about a 30-year life total. Just over a 30-year life total in Class Constructed. And almost 3/4 of your life total in Blitz. It is a ridiculous card. But what's good is that you literally can't play this like first turn, right? You can't come swinging for 14 on turn 1, all right? Because there's no way to have more than 9 resources in your hand with this card. That is a beater, though. I think the mechanics are really cool because the seismic surges don't stay around, which is kind of nice. So it's like it isn't just like super doable. I wonder, actually, no, you can't. I was gonna say if your arsenal is empty, I wonder if you could do this twice, get more, but no, you have to have an empty arsenal zone. I guess this with Awakening seems really good, right? Sorry about that. This with Awakening, right? Because if you're down on life, you heave this into your arsenal. You have Awakening. You take a bunch of damage from the turn, play Awakening at the end of turn, and then you have like let's say you went down, let's say you took 6 damage, you're down by 6 or so. 5-6 points of damage. That's 5 more. I can't remember if it's a fuse, you gotta double it. What's going on, Mr. Dig Dug? How you doing? We're talking about Everfest spoilers for Flesh and Blood. So the next set's coming out on the 4th of February, I believe, is the first edition release. And the boxes are actually pretty cheap. Yeah, so, wow. I think Awakening in this card is terribly brutal. And now you can play Awakening with Bravo, so... Well, I don't know if you would. But that's pretty brutal. Oh, shoot, you're right. You have Heart and Cross Trap. I freaking play that card, too. It's a little risky to play just for that effect, but if you have it, you have it. Wow, we got to see more of this guy too, because he's not the same guy on the. It's not the same helmet that we see on whatchamacallit, right? Mangle. Is it? No, that's different than Mangle, right? You cannot see that at all. Not the same helmet as Mangle. So he's got facing up where he's got like 3 slices. Yeah, different helmet. So not the same guy. Still pretty brutal helmet though. But you're absolutely right. Heart and Cross Trap, 3 blues. It's coming downtown. Going to Pound Town. But I think I'd be more happy to combo this with Awakening, right? Because you're going to take damage once you telegraph that it's there. You get a bunch of Seismic Surge tokens, and you get in for a nice cheap attack. Even at that point, you can probably block with some things, right? So at the end of your turn, you're going to get that blue. You're going to pitch a blue to put this in your arsenal. So you end with 2 cards, whatever. Say you swung with your hammer or something like that, right? Or 1 card in your hand. Got this in one other empty arsenal. Boom, you toss the blue. Or if you do have an Awakening, you toss a blue. You have Awakening this. You put that in your arsenal. You draw 3 cards. Take a bunch of damage or maybe block with them. It's going to be cheap. I can't remember. I think Awakening is 0 cost. So that seems pretty good. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, 2 cost. 2 cost. Yeah, if it's fused, twice that many Seismic Surge. Because again, it doesn't even matter. You're looking to fuse it. That's there's always those. Reading the card helps explain the card, right? So you'd actually have to have the fusion on there, which is not brutal, right? It is an Earth fusion. If you're playing like big Earth Bravo or something like that, doesn't seem that bad. Double the Seismic Surge tokens. Sorry, no. Take that back. Reading it, that just doubles them. They get enough equal the difference just by playing it if you have less life. Wow. Guys, it's fine. I play this game all the time. No big deal. I'm kind of okay at it. But that's where I want to be. I want to be pulverizing. I want to be awakening. I want to awaken to be pulverized. I love that card. That is a good card. I'm not scared of that 10 cost. Not at all. All right, we have this card, Fractal Replication. This is from Emma Kyle. Emma Kai. She is a streamer, a cosplayer. I believe she actually mostly does Magic content. I guess she is getting into Flesh and Blood content. So that's very cool. Happy to have her on board. She also does some cosplaying and stuff like that. Our first Illusionist card. So Illusionist attack action. We have a 1-pitch, 0 cost, a star for defense, and a star for attack parts. So when you play or defend with Fractal Replication, it gains the abilities and effects of all Illusionist card attack actions on the combat chain. Fractal Replication's power is equal to the greatest base power among Illusion attack action cards on the combat chain. Fractal Replication's defense is equal to the greatest base defense among Illusionist attack actions. So it's going to be 3 or 0 for defense, no matter what, right? I don't think there's any Illusionist card. There's some light cards. There's no Illusionist cards that have a 2 base. All the Heralds and I think all the Auras all have 3. So it's probably, and those actually, no, it's all the... What about the... Yeah, no, they're all 3. So that's not bad. Defense for an extra 3. Which is if you're blocking with something else. Not how you really want to use it. Power is going to be equal to your base. I guess the problem is that the major synergy here that doesn't really work out that well is if you do have multiple cards on the chain, it's going to gain all effects of all Illusionist attack action cards on the combat chain. So you can't Dreamweavers to get rid of the Phantasm on something. And then if you've played anything else than that single card, it will also get Phantasm from the other. If it's a Phantasm attack, so that's where the pain comes in. So I do think that's really cool that you can do that. So that's like the only downside is the only miss synergy. Otherwise, like Herald of Erudition into another Herald of Erudition can be disgusting. If there's like you got your Dreamweavers, you got your Time Skippers, or some way to get multiple action points, right? And you slam in, that's going to be... Yeah, so... wow. Let's just get this guy up here. Just make sure people know what we're talking about with the Herald of Erudition here. So this is the Herald of Erudition here. If you're able to get the Go Again on here somehow, this is going to be pretty heavy duty. It's a lot of card draw, right? So you're going to play this, Go Again somehow, and then you come in again. Again, it's dominated. Maybe they don't have the ability to block with armor because you've already blocked, something like that. But the drawing of 2 cards can be quite nice. So, yikes. I guess you're playing... oh my god, whatever that thing is, saying that the yellow... If you have a yellow card in your pitch zone, things have Go Again. It's the weapon. I can't remember. It's not the Iris of Reality, it's the other one. But that's the way to do it, right? You got Go Again and everything. Erudition into Erudition is pretty crazy and pretty brutal. So definitely some hardcore Prism action going on there. On the topic of Illusionists, do we think we're going to get a young one? What's everyone's thoughts on if we're going to get a young one? I think we might. It's very possible that we could very much get a young Illusionist. We saw so far we've seen a young Guardian, which is just fine. I do wonder if we will see anything else. Any other young heroes that are different. I'd be interested to know. But for now, we'll just have to speculate. I think I want to say yes. Because it seems like a good class to give some more support to anyways. And you're not oversaturating, so like we don't have a young one that we could use that's different. So I feel like we might see one. And we should check the Flab website to see if they have anything. It would be cool. I agree. It would be very cool. What's your poison? I know you said you bought some decks, Mr. Dig Dug. What's your poison these days? What are you playing with your pops? Oh, this is really bad setup. I'm sorry. You can't see that much, can you? You can go zoom out like this. All right, so we got Brute cards. We got Guardian cards. We got something. We haven't no Illusionist cards yet. Oh, I guess we don't. So we know we have an Illusionist. So we have Brute, Guardian. Was it Ninja? You like Prism? Good. Well, that Fractal Replication seems like it might be up your alley. Illusionist, theoretically, Ninja, I don't know, Runeblade, whatever, Warrior. I don't remember how many classes there are right now. But yeah, it looks like we could very well get a hero. I think we're gonna get a hero in every class. So it might very well be though, like Bravo, the showstopper. If that's setting the trend, we could see a Rhinar that's Shadowful, or what talents would you give all these? That's the question. We don't really know that. It's risky. Still learning. Well, that's an interesting matchup actually. That's a hard matchup. It can go both ways too. Actually, that's funny that you have that, because like in a lot of cases, like if you're just playing like not auras, or because auras is the harder matchup for Bravo in general. If you're playing auras, you're probably favored in that matchup, all other things being equal. Or if you're not, then he's just going to pop all your phantasms with big guardian attacks. And that's like easy because it's like, cool, boom, I'll block some and pop it so you have nothing to do. Actually, it doesn't even do anything, right? It just pops. Oops, my bad. So no, that's a fun matchup to learn on. Actually, that's like, because you can easily tweak it both ways to give one person the advantage or the other person the advantage. So, a lot to learn in that matchup, which is fun. I agree. And unless we get a bunch of really nice Prism or Illusionist cards outside of this one, we'll have to see what else we get. I think that's really kind of where it comes down to. All right, on to our second to last one. Oops, we have from Dice Commando, we have our first Ranger card. We have Battering Bolt. It's a Ranger action arrow attack. Costs 2, pitches for 1, attacks for 6, defends for 3. Obviously, only played out of your arsenal with a bow. It says when Battering Bolt hits a hero, they reveal their hand and discard all cards other than action cards. They lose 1 health for each card discarded this way. So obviously, this is not going to be your main board tech, right? This is not a main deckable card unless you are, I don't know, in a certain meta. I mean, there's some decks that play a lot of non-attack cards. Wait, sorry. All cards other than action cards. Sorry, I read it as like a non-attack action. So it's any action card. So it's gonna be items or instants, things like that. Non-attacks and attacks are all good. So actually, that's pretty good. This is actually a good hoser, because I don't think anyone's really playing heavy item or like potion builds right now. Although we saw a bunch. We saw some amulets. We saw some potions. We're seeing that kind of thing. The Kano Bullying card. Yeah, but like a lot of his aren't instants though. Is it though? Is it really though? Because like it's just action cards. And like, does he really play that many non-attacks? Or sorry, not many. I don't think he plays a lot of instants, right? He plays cards as instants. But there's not a lot of like actual other than action cards. It's such a weird way because you can't say non-attack actions or non-actions because that's new. So other than action cards. Oh no, sorry. Oh god, I keep reading this card wrong. Wow, it's been a long day. Discards all cards other than action cards. No, I said that. Oh man, maybe I'm misreading it. Okay, we're gonna start over. So when Battering Bolt hits a hero, they reveal their hand and discard all cards other than action cards. So non-attacks and attacks are staying. So it's anything that's like lots of potions, lots of instants, like stuff like Remembrance, sigils, anything like that we're going to see. Or any instants that we've seen so far. We haven't seen any today. Never mind, take that back. We will definitely see things like that. But yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Auras, and then items for dash as well. So I feel like this is funny because we did see a lot of we've seen hate for items. We've seen hate for items and potions and instants here, which is kind of nice. I think actually this might be a good card against Bravo, right? Because like against I know that some people play heavy life gain Bravo, and with that you're going to be playing a lot of Blessing of Deliverance. You're going to be playing some sigils, things like that. It also will take out defense reactions because those are not actions of any kind. It'll take out attack reactions. That's pretty good. So if you're going Bravo, like Pummel Bravo, which is kind of my jam right now, that's gonna hurt you there too. Yeah, okay, all right, okay, I can dig it. Mentor, get out of here. Like people play Mentor cards, anyways. Yep. Are items actions? Oh, you're right. No, items are totally actions. You got that right. Potions, all those are items. So it's gonna be defense reactions, attack reactions, instants, and then auras. Are auras actions? Only prism because they're all instants, right? That's why they can't block. Yeah, no. Now, here's a question, and I don't have one close by. What are baubles? What are cracked baubles? Here's the real question. So when you get this Majestic in your draft or seal that you're gonna do, because you totally do that with supplemental sets that are not made for this. What happens when you have a bauble in your hand? They are resource cards. Those will get discarded. Haha! We've won. We've gone full circle. From a set that is not going to be drafted or played with sealed, you can make people discard their cracked baubles, which I think are actually illegal to register in constructed formats and things like that. They are not a playable card. They are a token, and therefore can't go in your deck in constructed formats. Very funny. Very funny indeed. I wonder if they wouldn't do something like that because of the hosing effect of the cracked baubles. I have no idea. I think that's really funny. I like that a lot. All right, on to our last one. We have, I don't know how to, I think it's a French channel. Oh, landmarks. Oh, that's a feel bad right there. Which we don't know what the Majestic, or sorry, we don't know what the Fables in this set. I wonder if it is like the Legendarium. Well, shoot, we'll talk about that in a second. Spoiler alert. Talk about that in a second. So on to our last one. Again, I think it's the Eye of Ophidia, but it's in French. So it's a French channel. I think a woman runs it. She's very nice. She did coverage of the French Nationals. So definitely check them out on the YouTubes. Spring Tidings. We have a ninja attack action. A yellow pitch. This is Majestic, so likely the only of the color strips. Yellow pitch, 0 cost, 2 attack, 3 defense. Benji specialization, so that's pretty nice. I do love this card frame as well. I like that it's like a change on the ninja thing. It's a little bit sort of curved in. I think it's really pretty here. When Spring Tidings hits, draw a card for each other attack action card with 2 or less base power you would control on the combat chain. Now, most of the time when you see something about card draw, what else do you see? You see has to hit, right? That's really like it's the hit trigger. No. Draw a card for each other attack action card with 2 or less base power you control on the chain. Look at that. I mean, it does have to be an attack action card, so it's not going to be weapons. So weapons don't care. So Kodachi's, well, it's also those break the chain, things like that. So those are not going to buff it. But like, cool, if you just get like small, like little whacks in, boom, 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 you're going to be drawing a bunch of cards off this. So this seems really quite nice. Gem most likely for Everfest. Is it though? I feel like the Heart of Fyendel was like the Aria gem. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think this is a great card for Benji. I know Benji's all about low power. He's all about going in for unblockability. That's why I thought kind of like, oh, cool. If it's Benji card, it'll have to be probably hitting, right? Because he's all about like having things unblockable. But like, honestly, I don't think so. I think this thing is going to be a pretty good hitter for his. It's free. Defense for 3. Has built-in go again. Not like yeah, no, why wouldn't you do? I mean, shoot, you could just play these things because they're going to trigger each other. Like the first one obviously won't, right? So like, let's say you throw out like a couple head jabs or something like that, like of the lower power variety, like the 1s and 2s. You don't get him for his damage. You just go extra long because like, are they even going to block those? Probably not. So I guess they save them for the other ones. At least not against Benji. You can't block some of them. So I feel like you could just really get in for that heavy duty long combo. Like, start off with a couple head jabs, play this, draw some extra cards, and then get into the rest of your combo. You could start off with combo things and then getting with extra ones. It seems really good. The Rudy Tease card with Rudy Merchant Kit. Oh, was that a I can't remember now. I remember there being some talk of the gem there. Yeah. No, okay. That's a fair point. I don't remember enough about that, but I do remember something about that. But I definitely shouldn't say anything about that. That said, now we're going into speculation mode. So we'll wrap up the spoilers. So those are the spoilers for today. So I hope you enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun. Man, that freaking pulverized, right? Am I right? Oh, yikes. But yeah, so what I would love to see as a legendary, or sorry, as a fabled, would be like the Legendarium. So like that Bravo card. I guess we should have left it up. The Bravo card, not the showstopper. Sorry, the star of the show. Essentially the same thing, right? He seems like he's in a pretty fancy place, and they mentioned the Legendarium. So like, I feel like that could be the kind of landmark, because it is basically, you know, right next to Corsham, so maybe it's not. It also is something that travels, right? So maybe that also doesn't make a lot of sense. The other things stayed. All right, yeah, I guess that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Or is it not a gem because it's that they have the Fab website had the, what was it on there? They had the big old the Grand Adventure, that article for the Grand Adventure. I can't remember anything about it other than like they go and they find some old runes, and that was what they found, and then they sort of ended off on that. I wonder if it has something to do with that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. In any case, that would be pretty cool if it was like some sort of like landmark to open up into like this Olin, those ancients of the land, and have their fanciful. Maybe it would be a gem of Olin. So what would it be? So we have a heart, we have an eye, we have the Arknight shard, which is not really anything else. What other thing? I mean, the lungs. Sorry, that's stupid. All right, I don't know what it would be, but yeah, if it's a gem, who knows? Maybe it's something to do with the Olin. That would be kind of cool, I think. I don't really know, but I think that's probably gonna do it for the stream tonight. We looked at some spoilers. We had a bad time remembering cards. We needed to read them, and we hadn't. So all in all, a pretty average day for us for talking about cards. I'm really excited, and I probably should have led with this because it's exciting. We have a spoiler card as well. I will show you that this is the spoiler card right here that we have in our hand. It's on theme for the channel, and it is releasing about 22 hours from now, 6:30 tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. So it's about 8 o'clock now. So yeah, 22 and a half hours from now, we'll have a video drop that will show you this card right here. And it'll be very exciting. So I made a nice little video. I think it's kind of fun. I had a fun time sort of telling a little story, weaving in some of the lore and some unknown characters that are in the lore book, and then I, you know, maybe fantasize some other characters into there, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. There were sort of like two ways I was going to go about the video. One was going to be the one I did. The other one was going to be sort of an advertisement for the card itself, and I didn't end up going that way. So one of these times I'll probably try to make a goofy one, but I find that sometimes my humor doesn't necessarily translate to other people's humor, so I try not to do that all that much. But anyway, that'll be it for the stream this evening. So if you're not in the Discord yet, hop on into the Discord. We'll be looking to, I know I keep saying this, but really just kind of break that threshold. We're around 20 people right now. We got to bump that up a little bit higher so we can start running tournaments. We need to get rid of these cards. Got to give away. It's probably gonna be everyone's gonna get lots of cards if we actually do this, just to get them out, you know, get them into the world and have people enjoy them. And they are Prism. So I think that's going to be it for this evening then. Check out our spoiler video tomorrow. Check out all the other awesome creators. Just go to the Fab website, scroll down, boom, Everfest spoilers. Very, very, very easy to find all those spoilers. The only ones that we haven't gone over for today were the Outcast Haven spoilers. They just haven't dropped yet because they are streaming probably right now or very soon. So I would go ahead and check out them. Let's see if they're actually going right now. They are currently not live right now. They should be live, I think. I want to say maybe in an hour or so. They will drop their cards, and that'll be it. So have an excellent evening, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for this pints and previews. I hope you guys enjoyed your pint. I'm all out. And we'll be back next week for maybe some spoiler summaries. Hopefully, maybe some gameplay. Who knows? We want to do some things. We were graciously given an Icelander card for as part of the preview program. So it would be kind of really cool if we could I don't know, play a deck with her. I'm not really sure about how we're gonna do that because she's hard to build around right now, but we'll see. So we'll have something fun hopefully next week. But until then, good night, and yeah, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Cheers.